This is infrared sensor footage likely recorded by a United States military platform operating in the Central Command Area of Responsibility in 2020. The clip is titled August 31st, 2020 call sign observes UAP Part 2 and was uploaded to a classified network in August 2020. Early in the sequence, the sensor holds on a single area of thermal contrast near center frame. Within moments, another contrast area appears from the lower right, and the sensor pans to keep both in view, though the second object moves out of frame. The imaging mode cycles several times, and occasionally the targets lose definition against the background before regaining contrast. For multiple intervals, the view shows small, transient areas of contrast entering and exiting the field of view, sometimes nearly indistinct, sometimes more readily visible as the sensor stabilizes its gain and tracking. Near the end of the visible material, a sustained area of contrast is tracked as it moves across the frame and then departs to the right. The final minutes of the clip contain no discernible content. The imagery is thermal definition rather than visible light, so the bright spots represent temperature or contrast differences picked up by the sensor, not color or reflective features. This narration does not offer an identification. On March 6th, 2026, 8 members of the United States House of Representatives requested access to 51 potentially UAP-related records that were said to be held by the Department of War and elements of the intelligence community. Those requests prompted a review by AARO, which identified a collection of responsive materials on a classified network. AARO notes that many of the materials in that collection lack a substantiated chain of custody, a detail that limits what analysts can conclude from the archive as a whole. According to AARO, the video you are watching is likely derived from an infrared sensor aboard a platform operating in the Central Command region in 2020 and appears to have been uploaded by a user to a classified system in August of that year. The footage was included in materials made public in May 2026 as part of the Pursue release. What makes this clip notable is not a single dramatic maneuver, but the pattern of intermittent thermal contacts, the sensor mode changes that affect detectability, and the administrative context in which the footage surfaced. That context includes congressional interest in a set of records, the involvement of AARO, and the acknowledgement that some items in the collection do not have a verified chain of custody. Taken together, those factors are why this item was flagged for review and why it is cataloged alongside other archive material. Analysts and enthusiasts often highlight this kind of infrared clip because thermal sensors can reveal transient phenomena that are otherwise invisible to conventional cameras. Yet the same qualities that make thermal imagery useful also complicate interpretation. Factors such as sensor gain, automatic contrast adjustments, background clutter, and platform motion can create brief features that mimic discrete objects. Those sensor characteristics are visible here in how the image contrast shifts, how targets appear and vanish, and how the tracking system reacquires contacts. The Department of War attribution in the file header reflects the holding agency for the collection rather than an adjudication about the origins of the contacts. No formal identification is recorded within the clip itself. For researchers, this video is one element of a larger body of material that AARO has cataloged and that Congress has asked to examine. It illustrates both the potential value of archived infrared records and the evidentiary limits that follow when provenance is uncertain. Explore the case file, related footage, and our weekly UAP News podcast at uapdrop.com.